Hello, this is Mike Snook coming at you on day 30, the final day of my video challenge. Not yet. With today's video, I decided to do kind of a about me video and cover some of the things on my background that you might know or not know, or care to know or not care to know. But the thing is I'm not going to get into my childhood because everybody has one. And you're pretty much under the control of your parents, but then you get to the point where you start making decisions and decide what you want to do in life. And I have 3 college degrees, and the first one I did was right out of high school. I went into electronic engineering, technology, and got an associate's degree. And basically what that is a person that's been trained to work with engineers. And it's like the liaison person between an engineer and a technician, where engineers would design, let's say, circuits and stuff, and my job would be to make them, put them together, breadboard them, and make them work, which is basically engineers design theoretical applications, and engineering technicians make their theoretical applications practical. And then the technicians are the lucky ones who get to work on and keep it running. So that's how I started, but with that training didn't necessarily mean that I was going to do that kind of work. I ended up working in final assembly and scintillation cameras for the medical industry that did nuclear medicine. And I also taught electronics for 2 years as electronic instructor to adult students from the ages of 19. I think the oldest student I had was 63. And most of them were men, but there was also some women too that came in. And that was challenging because I'd have a class of 4 hours and I would cover roughly 2 hours of theory and lecture and 2 hours of lab. And that was every day. And that was an interesting experience. And I also then worked in that field of electronics as well, that incorporated actually part of my second degree, which was in business management technology with an emphasis on entrepreneurship and small business. And when I took that degree, or when I took the courses with that degree, they were so much different than electronics and engineering and math and calculus and physics and all that other stuff that I had, which are subjects that are very objective to business that is more subjective. But I seem to have done well because I got Dean's List every quarter. And then my final one I actually took not because it was what I wanted to do, but it was like an opportunity came to take it. So I ended up taking auto parts management from Hocking College and got a degree there too. So that's pretty much my background. And then I also had an automated office technology 2-year program that I went through on the off time, and did a lot of stuff. But probably my favorite job of all time before actually working for myself was actually when I worked as a BMET specialist in medical engineering at a hospital. I did that for nearly 13 years and enjoyed it very much. I was very good at what I did. And if it wasn't for something that happened in my life, I would have probably continued to do that. I also got married, and we had 2 kids. And my first child ended up having special needs. First, he was considered developmental delay, and he was finally diagnosed with a form of autism along with the developmental mental damage in his speech and development. And also when he was a child, he had a number of petit mal seizures that he finally outgrew when he became an adult. And then my daughter was in the other end of the spectrum. She's too smart for her own britches. And she's currently working on an RN degree. She could actually has the wherewithal to become an actual MD, but she's working on that. But anyways, so now I'm an empty nester. I was married to my wife for 34 years before she passed unexpectedly away. In fact, the morning it happened, I had to do CPR. And paramedics were there within 5 to 10 minutes, and took over and said I did everything I could possibly do. And it wasn't enough. She had a massive heart attack and it took her life. So anyhow, after all that stuff happened, in 2009, 2010, I did a lot of investigating online of what I could do. I even got involved with some programs. The first program that I paid like almost $3,500 for was actually basically to become a middleman between people who wanted to sell their homes and people were trying to buy it through like land contracts and stuff. And that got to be kind of ridiculous, because at that time is when the housing market pretty much here in the United States hit the toilet. And so that was like a waste of money and waste of time. So the next thing I know is I invested time with an online course that cost me $1,000, and got involved with affiliate marketing. And actually, when I first did it, I was being successful, but at that time, ClickBank had some ridiculous rules about certain things, so I ended up losing all my affiliate commissions, because before you could get them, you had to have 5 different sales, and I had 4 big ones, but 4 wasn't enough. And so eventually it got to the point where they said, well, you have inactivity of the account, and they started taking money out, and they just kept doing it until it whittled down to nothing. And that was kind of irritating. That's why recently Linkshare had a inactivity fee they charge affiliates when I was reading through their terms, and I didn't sign up because I think that's ridiculous. To me, they're just greedy when they do stuff like that, because it's like, well, when I make a sale, you take money from the vendor side, you take money from the affiliate, so you're making money at both ends of that, and now you want to sit there when they are not doing anything, but because they're just signed up with you, you want to charge an affiliate fee. Really? How much greedier can you be? But anyways, it's the way it is, so I just go on. So I got involved with some other affiliate programs, and I actually got involved with a partnership with a particular affiliate program that I've been most successful with. And even though it cost me up front $2,000 to belong with, I have actually, to date, have made more with that one than with all the other ones combined. And have actually made my money back plus some. Plus, I gained experience through that process and learned things, not all from that program, but because the program motivated me to seek information, to do whatever I could do. And I ended up pursuing that. That's why I have 8 active websites right now. I have 4 niche sites that are more review sites and focus on products. And most of those products are sold on Amazon. And they've been doing really good this year. They started doing really good last year because I started liking to do writing reviews, product reviews, and got pretty good at it. And then I have 4 other sites that are actually more authority sites. And authority sites require constant updates and content marketing that I've slipped on doing, and it shows. So it's always a challenge. So and I try to incorporate all the stuff that I've had experience with, because I've done everything from working as a tax preparer to a teacher, and well, as instructor for adult students, and technical information, because the quarter I taught was the third quarter. Well, they weren't really quarters, because they were longer than quarters but shorter than semesters, and it was more like a technical trade school than anything. They got a diploma when they finished the end of their 2 years. And my area of expertise that I was teaching at the time was linear integrated circuits and power supplies and special things that related to that, and kind of took the fundamentals of AC and DC that they learned 2 quarters before that, and put it all together and put it was in more practical applications the first time they were actually seeing completed circuits, and they were doing all kinds of projects. So that was quite a challenge. I also was a coach. I coached soccer for several years, and coached kids that were from 10 all the way to 18 years old. And actually I was helping out a friend of mine who had college girls, and there was times I took over some of those practices. And I also was a referee for both FIFA and for the high school athletic association here in my state. And I also was a league president, and also a manager of a soccer league, or a club, I'm sorry, soccer club. I was a league president, and I was a manager of a soccer club. And I probably, during those years of soccer, probably was involved coaching at least 10 or more teams, both girls and boys. And I like to play indoor soccer myself during the winter times, and I was on several teams, and it's like, did a lot of soccer. And coaching is an interesting thing, especially when you start getting the higher age groups. The younger ones will accept your suggestions in coaching much easier than the older ones will, because by the time they get a certain age, they know everything, regardless if they do or not. And they make it challenging for you, but then all you have to do is demonstrate and show them another way, and then they can be receptive to that, and you have to build a rapport. And I was able to do all these things, but I find it challenging to do it online, because you can't see people face to face like you can in person, and that's what makes online business more difficult, because you can't have that interaction like you do when you're face to face with somebody and really get to know, and then they get to know you. So hopefully through these videos that I am doing in today's video, at least you get a chance to know a little bit more about me, and I just hope that I can continue doing videos, and in the future I hope to do not just review videos, but maybe some tutorials and some other things. But I look forward to that. And so I made it to my 30-day challenge, and now the fat lady can sing.